Welcome to TaleTeller Media, where imagination finds its voice. I'm your host, Jonathan. Our story tonight is The Last Report of Beta Station by Jonathan Lee Wilson, narrated by yours truly. Before we get started, just a quick favor. Please like, share, and subscribe as it helps out the channel a great deal. It's a small thing for you, but huge for us. And now, the story. Testing. Is this thing working? Testing. Is this thing working? Oh, good. Ooh. I wish I had more time, but this'll have to do. If you're hearing this, it's the last thing, maybe the only thing you'll ever hear out of Beta Station. Okay, where do I start? You might be surprised to find this recording years from now. I was surprised to find this thing still works after so many years in storage. As soon as I launch this probe, it'll go out to the universe. I'll be long dead before the signal reaches anyone, but the rest of the workers deserve this to get out. I'm the only one left to speak for them. I'm gonna tell you a bit about myself first, though. My name is Jacob Rollins. I'm an engineer here on the station. I've been living here on Beta Station for close to 15 years. Back then, there were as many as 50,000 people making this place their home away from home. Earth was a toxic wasteland by the time I was a teenager, so I've been trying to get off-world for decades. Guess I'm dating myself a little. Who cares? No guarantee anyone's gonna hear this story anyway. It took every dollar I had to pay for passage. Years of scraping by and going without, just so I could climb into a hypersleep chamber and get immersed in stasis gel for 70 years. I hated that part. It's gross. And you were definitely asleep and unaware of traveling through deep space, but there was this weird feeling like a memory or a thought at the tip of your consciousness. It was like going into a room and forgetting why, but for 6.5 decades. I don't know why I'm talking about that. You probably know exactly what I felt like if you've ever traveled off-world. How about a little music before I go? Looks like I got just enough time for a song. Life is hard in the station. More of a giant asteroid gutted and filled with chambers and rooms. The powers that be were always building, always tinkering with the systems. Those tech geeks and administrators needed a hobby or something. The problem with making a station too big and too complicated is you make room for more errors and mistakes in the long run. Keep it simple. That's what my grandfather used to say. I miss him. Poor old man got a nasty case of acid lung in his internal organs, and they turned to soup 2 days after his 78th birthday. And a pretty way to go. I blame those administrative types for his death. After all, they're the ones that put him in the situation he found himself in. Gotta make $1 to survive. What's retiring when you stand to get pitched out an airlock if you can't pull your own weight? That's all we ever were to the higher-ups. Expendable consumers of resources. Once you outlived your profitability of work, you're just another hit to the bottom line. I was stupid enough to think Zemcore was different. They talked a big game about helping the galaxy be a better place. They talked about growth through innovation and resource management. They were no different than any of the other conglomerates of corporations and governments. Did you know that they could feed, house, and even entertain us workers for less than 1% of their profit margins? Over $50,000 on just the station alone. The amount of wealth that the executives possess couldn't be spent in 1,000 lifetimes. Hell, 50,000 lifetimes. I can't believe I was so stupid and I believed the sales pitch. A better life, creating a better future. Trademark and copyright Zemcore Incorporated. Sad thing is, it was better life and a better future for them. Us dumbass workers were just grease for the machine. The recruiters made it sound like the best opportunity you could get. By the time you unpacked, you started to see the shine wear off the deal. Anyone you've ever known or loved died while you slept. Sure, you'd accumulated a lot of money, but what good was it trapped on a floating mine in the middle of an uninhabited star system in the middle of nowhere? They don't put that in the advertising. Why didn't someone warn you if it was that bad, you might think. Well, ask yourself if you've ever actually heard from someone, anyone, living on Beta Station. I bet I know the answer to that. This rock is a one-way ticket to nowhere. Big flashy signs from the corporate talking heads, of course. Gotta keep that machine greased up. CEOs aren't gonna get richer on their own. Gotta keep the stockholders happy. So, here we are. The resources in the system have dried up. Suddenly we aren't worth the cost of fuel to transport us off this rock. We all gave everything we had to this company. Now our lives aren't worth saving to them. Sure, Earth had gone to hell, but at least we could make a living and not sit here watching the gas giant we orbit slowly swallow our home. History is littered with the bodies of the powerless who were used up and discarded. The ladder to power and wealth was built on the bones of the oppressed. Now I'm watching the planet get bigger and bigger while I speak into this recording device. We never had access to outside communications when the executives were here. "Who are you gonna call?" they would say. "Anyone we damn well please." That's what we should have said. Now it's too late. Any one of the handful of us left could have warned people about the corporate greed instead of riding out this rock in silence. We might not have family out there, but we were family here. I loved a few of them. I made good friends. My partner, Gia, was brilliant. She was a poet. She was an artist. Our quarters are plastered in her drawings and paintings. Gia was a light brighter than the star we orbit. She was more than just another resource to be exploited. Watching her, watching everyone waste away when the food dispensers stopped working, I don't wish that on anyone. As soon as profit was overtaken by cost, we weren't worth the price to feed anymore.
1 minute to impact. Evacuate all personnel.
I'd love to, you stupid bastard. In case you didn't notice, there's no transports off this station anymore. Looks like my time's up. When you finally hear this, stand up to the corporations. Stand up to the governments that give them their power. We deserved better. You deserve better. Even though I've only got a few seconds more, I'm gonna go out proud. For all the people left here, for my grandfather, especially Jia Kwan, this is Jacob Rollins, this engineer, free human being, signing off. Godspeed. If you enjoyed this story and would like to get our stories early, you can support the channel on Patreon. We post every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Come back soon. I'll be waiting. Bye for now.